working on expressive therapy. The age group that I'm going to be trying to work with is older to middle elementary children. This project, though, can be modified to work with children at any age. The goal that I'm going to try to address, I will be using picture cards to test the child, their expressive language. We're going to be working on motor skill development, and depending on how comfortable the child is, working with plurals and WH questions as well. Pragmatic skills such as turn taking and patience will also be present. What I would do is I'd start by reviewing with the class, we're going to be working with farm animals today. Can we each name an animal that we find on the farm? And go over, with each student one by one and have them name a farm animal. From there, because I don't want to overwhelm the children too much, and because they are older elementary children, with the WH and the plural questions, I would just touch on that because I really don't want them overwhelmed too much, and hopefully it would just be a review for them. So with that, though, I would still go over our who's are a person, what's are an item or a thing, where is a place or a location, when is a time, why is a reason, and how is a step-by-step process. How did we get there? What is the reason that we are here? So with that in mind, I would start with the first child and say, with my little picture card, what kind of animal do I have here? And as long as they answer correctly, they get one turn as our game of operation, which will help with our motor development and our hand-eye coordination. So, they get to choose whatever item they decide to go after, whether it be the water in the knee or the farting gas here. And as long as they answer it correctly, then I could say, do you want a WH question or would you like a plural question? If they decide to go with the plural, and I say, okay, well, we have 1B. What do we have if we have 3B? And they say we have 3 B's. As long as so then they get 2 turns at their water in the knee that they decide to go after. If they decide to try for a 3rd turn, then it would be a WH question. And the WH question would be of my choice, and depending on the child's development and progress, I could say, okay, where do bees live? Or what do bees like to eat? Or who is a bee's friend? Well, flowers are bees' friends. They live in a hive. They like to eat honey. They like to collect pollen off the flowers. Depending on how detailed of a question that you want. So if at any time a child gets stuck on a question during their turn, they have one option or one opportunity to ask me or a fellow classmate for help or a hint. So then I'd move on to the next child, and I would say, what kind of animal do I have? And I have the words covered. What kind of an animal do I have? Well, as long as they answer goose correctly, then they also have the option, well, do you want to answer a plural or a WH? So we have 2 geese, so some of these words can be a little more difficult for the children to answer. Mouse and mice, goose and geese. So just keep that in mind, that you can make the words and the items a little more difficult for the children. So I would also have, depending on how distracted the children get, my flashcards of who, what, where, when, why. I can either have them out on the desk or behind me, as long as the children don't get too distracted. But I can also use them if they ask for a hint on the WH question.